Black Kemet gods, black Egyptian gods, summoned from heaven, blessed, dressed in only go yard, homie go hard, like stolen Robert in a stolen car. Shoot the ballot box, no voter card.
All right, so today I'm going to take you guys into my growth meeting. Growth is the thing that I spent most of my time on a daily basis. It's because that's where we spend the most of our money outside of the actual clothes. Growth consists of a couple things. It's really the performance marketing of a brand. So the money you spend to acquire users. And so I'm going to give you a quick insight into the meeting. We can't share too many details because they're confidential, but I'm going to teach you some metrics that you should know for your own business if you're in the e-commerce game. Honestly, even if you're just in the traditional retail game, these are very, very important metrics to know and understand. So the first metric is called CPA, and that is cost per acquisition. That is the cost that it is to acquire a customer. This is the most important metric in any e-commerce company. And really because it dictates how much money you can spend and how much a customer is worth to you and how much you can afford to acquire a customer for. So that's the first metric. And I'm going to kind of intertwine how all these metrics work together. The next metric that's important is called LTV, lifetime value. This is how much the customer is worth to you over their duration as being a customer. So in our business, it's how long people are subscribers to us. In a business like Young and Reckless, it's how much money will they spend monthly and how long will that be? Will they be customers for 1 year, 2 years, 3 years? This metric, lifetime value, really helps you determine what's your customer acquisition cost. So if you know your customer acquisition cost, say, is, just to keep math simple, $100, and the lifetime value, that's the amount of sales this person will generate, is $1,000. And let's say your gross margin, which is the next important metric, is 50%. That means this t-shirt costs $5, I'm gonna sell it for $10. Your gross margin is now $5, which is 50%. So if your gross margin is 50%, then on $1,000 of lifetime value, you have $500 of LTV margin to play with. You subtract that by your customer acquisition cost of $100, and you've now profited $400 on this particular customer. And obviously your cost of goods in some cases includes shipping and doesn't include shipping. There's discounting you need to account for, but this gives you a general idea of important metrics you should learn in your business. You really develop these metrics over time. It doesn't happen in the first year of your business, but start paying attention to customer acquisition costs first. And then over time, you'll develop your LTV, then your LTV margin. You'll understand what your shipping costs are. And then you could start working on things like retention rate and how that plays into your metrics. I don't want to get into retention rate yet because I really want to just make it simple today and focus on customer acquisition costs, LTV, lifetime value, and gross margin. These are 3 important metrics that every brand, every e-commerce company, no matter what you sell, you should know this information and make decisions based on it. And that'll tell you, because some companies, I'll give you an example, like Dollar Shave Club used to have really high customer acquisition costs, but they assumed a very long lifetime value. So maybe it takes 1 year to pay back the customer. So like if your customer acquisition costs $100 and it takes you 3 months to pay back the member, and you can afford to take 3 months to pay back, they're gonna tell you to spend it infinitely. But in Dollar Shave Club example, maybe their payback was 1 year. So if you have the cash, you could sit around and wait 1 year to get that payback. But if they're gonna be customers for 3, 4, 5, 10 years, and you're flushed with cash for some venture capital, you're gonna go spend like crazy. And that's what they did. They spent on TV, they spent on Instagram, Facebook, and they grew rapidly, and they ultimately got an exit because they got rewarded for all the growth and the brand equity they built. So different strategies for different businesses. We are not a venture-backed business, so our customer acquisition cost, lifetime value, it's called a CAC multiple, your customer acquisition multiple, has to be very low because we need payback fast. So that's kind of where we're at today. See what happens in the meeting. I looked over the last 24 months non-member. I think there was like spring 17 was like our biggest non-member month, but we spent crazy money on ads. We're struggling with prospecting traffic, and here you go. Here's in a way to at least get people the messaging. It may not happen on the first time, but maybe the third time.
New Republic, week over week, was pretty flat. Spend was a little bit lower, but we're all on tracks. We saw some ads today. They actually look really good. I'll send them to you.
I saw the visuals for that. They're really good. We need to find how that looks like for monthly also.
Today's email's doing really well, where I think we're gonna beat the number of orders than we do with launch, which we don't typically do in Last Chance. So hopefully the metrics from the email helps that.
Helped.
Comments and feedback are also pretty positive. We can take that video and also break it down into some like written posts so that it has a little longer lifespan.
I mean, there's obviously a few folks who have taken very aggressive approach and just crushing it.
Right.
And maybe even figure out some lifestyle and more reflective of our guy. It's hard to keep them engaged on like, oh, you're getting this, and then for 30 days keep posting that stuff. Mondays should be the motivational thing. That's what people want to see. And then Friday at 2 o'clock, we should be posting a cocktail, like a fun drink that you can make for the weekend, or you should try, or whatever.
Put your hands up, black boy.
Cop shot the kid, the cop shot the kid, the cop shot the cop shot the kid, the cop shot the kid, the cop shot the cop shot the kid, the cop shot the kid.
Special Father's Day edition photo shoot.
The ghetto Othello the more. Oh my God, they speak venomous on the boy. Oh my Lord, my enemy is fear and I'm sure. Oh my God, they want the end of me cause I'm pure. Oh my Lord, discipline for the win.
Yeah. Say all done. Here, hold on.
Let's go, buddy.
All right.
All right, you did it, buddy. Ready for lunch?
Hold